We was just actually checking out some of the matches that are coming up. We was just having a little look at the preview. And normally they give you that graphic. It's a shame that graphic's not around anymore. They don't tend to do it now, whereby they tell you, like, the 8 segments that you're going to get. Instead, they tend to do it in, like, video form, which just isn't as useful. But, yeah, it's going to be an alright show. Obviously, we're building. I kind of feel like we're in between things, to be honest. I sort of feel like all the focus is on Rampage starting, which is this Friday. Obviously, the second Rampage show is the one that's in Chicago that's being rumoured for Punk. So, just kind of feels like we're waiting till we get to that. Or at least, certainly, that's how it feels to me. I feel like I'm waiting to get to that. So, as a result, like, does this suffer a little bit? Not sure. They're still doing some decent stuff. I think the shows are fine. I think they're, pretty strong. So we'll see what they've got for us tonight, shall we? We'll see what they've got for us tonight. But, yeah, I think we'll have to forgive them if there's at least one eye on Rampage. And maybe if these shows are maybe just a little bit below par, I think you could understand it. Jason Peace, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Jordan Dingle, hello. Austin, hello. Good to see you again. I don't think AEW will be that great tonight, says Hasib. Well, we'll see. I must admit, I'm going into it thinking we'll get what we get. I'm not expecting a classic vintage episode of Dynamite tonight. I think there's going to be some moments. They normally give you something. So I'm expecting some moments, but I don't know quite what to expect. If we go over to AEW, we can just have a little look at some of the graphics that they've got over there. And that might give us a little bit more to play with. So, Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. We've got that coming up tonight. We've got Wheeler Yuta, Orange Cassidy, and Chuck Taylor versus Matt Hardy and the Private Party. So we've got that tonight. We've got Nyla Rose versus Kris Statlander. We've got Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Dante Martin and the Sydal Brothers. We've got the Good Brothers versus Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. We've got some meet and greets. And we've got Chris Jericho versus Wardlow. So, yeah, there's a little bit there. There's a bit there. I mean, I must admit, there's a few of these matches I'm reading thinking, that could have happened on Dark. I don't know if we need that on Dynamite. So, we'll see. Days, can you talk to me on Twitter? No, I'm here right now. I can talk to you right now, Jordan. So, shout out to you. We are here right now. It would be rude, wouldn't it? Could you imagine if we left and just started chatting away on Twitter and just ignoring everyone else? Like, it wouldn't be fair. It really wouldn't be fair. Harry said, Days, what are you watching AEW on? Because I want to watch it and not wait till the weekend on ITV. You have to subscribe to a website that's called Fight TV, FITE TV. It's about $4.99 a month, but you get Dynamite live, and I think you get Rampage live. I mean, you do get Rampage, but I still haven't looked to see if it's live. It better be. So, yeah, I've been doing that since the first week, so I recommend that if you are a big AEW fan. To Boy said, Days, will Rampage matter like Dark that they never speak about? No, I think Rampage will matter. I mean, Dark's just on the internet, isn't it? But Rampage is going to be on network TV, so yeah, it's their second proper show that's going to follow SmackDown. In fact, it's going to matter so much that even SmackDown is being rumoured to go to 3 hours to combat it. So, yeah, it is going to matter. Who do you think, or who do you want Jericho's 5th opponent to be? Ooh, who would I want Jericho's 5th opponent to be? That's a really good question. Who would I want Jericho's 5th opponent be? I mean, if I could choose anyone, I'd choose Kevin Owens. If I could just choose anyone. Because I think the Festival of Friendship and that whole storyline was absolutely brilliant with the list. I think it was absolutely amazing. So I'd probably go with Kevin Owens. Obviously, it's not going to be. So, feel like it should be a legend. Like, it would be amazing if it was like Jushin Thunder Liger or someone like that, you know, like a proper legend. But, I don't know. Is there any rumours? I'm trying to think. In AEW, who could it be? I mean, who could it be? It must be building up to something cool. Like, I can't imagine that it's just... I know the main prize is that Jericho wants MJF, so it's not going to be anything huge. So it's not going to be anything like, you know, absolutely groundbreaking. Because the prize is that Jericho wants to get his hands on MJF. So, but who could they bring in for just like a one-off little match that would be quite interesting? I mean, Dean Malenko would have been good, but physically you couldn't do it anymore. I'm trying to think of a heel that MJF hangs out with. I mean, Wardlow you would think would make sense. Dean Malenko would have been good, yeah. Stephanie McMahon. No, I wouldn't bring CM Punk in that way. I wouldn't want CM Punk coming in as someone that does the dirty for MJF. Like, your next opponent's going to be CM Punk. Nah, that's not how I'd bring him in. Daniel Bryan. Why would Bryan work with MJF? Why would Bryan want to help MJF? No. Lance Storm. Lance Storm would be cool. I don't see it, but... I'm pretty sure MJF's going to be the fifth opponent. He has to beat 5 before MJF, so MJF is not the fifth. Shawn Spears? Oof. Can you imagine if it builds up to Shawn Spears being the final obstacle? So he's got past all these people, including Wardlow, but now you've got to get past Shawn Spears. Don't know. Maybe Shawn Spears. Maybe both of FTR. How about if it was FTR? Could be that, couldn't it? Handicap match. The final one is a handicap match against FTR. I'm not saying that would be brilliant, but I'm saying it's what they could do. Rufus from WCW. Mark Henry. It's going to be Asuka. I like that. Shawn Spears was the first one. Oh, well, there we go. He's already faced him. Perhaps he'll make him face him again. How are you doing today? I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, I'm all right. Just been watching some football, which was a lot of fun, and now here we are, getting ready for AEW. So, see what they've got for us tonight. So, I hope you're well, Adrian. It'll be Wardlow again. I can't wait for Jericho versus Wardlow. It's going to be the Yeti. Is Dynamite on YouTube? No. It's on TNT. See, I had to think for a second then. In my head, it was like Fox, USA Network. And I was like, no, it's none of those. It's TNT. Wardlow is today. Wardlow can't be the fifth one. What if he's got a brother? What if he's got a twin? Then he could. Daniel Garcia, that's facing Darby, is really hyped on the indie scene. He had a 1-hour match the other week, and people were saying it's one of the best indie matches they've ever seen. Well, there we go. I just saw Volta versus Dragunov. That match was awesome. Very good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second one. Taboy said, why does MJF not make a stipulation? And if Jericho wins, he still loses and can't face MJF. If Jericho wins, he still loses. That wouldn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. So what do you mean Jericho just absolutely can't win? There's nothing Jericho could do. It's going to be Jake from State Farm. Sure. I don't know who that is. It could be Big Show. Oh, well, actually, that's a good point. They did say they wanted to try and get Big Show doing something in the ring as well. So that's not the worst shout, is it? Fair play. Yeah, could be Big Show. I can't wait till you hit 1 million subscribers. Neftali, shout out to you. Shigbo. Yeah, Moldy Spoon thinks it's going to be the Shigbo. Well, it's the Shigbo. Days, it'll be like this. Jericho's 5th opponent, Sean McSpears. Yeah, that'd be good. Sean Spears. I remember Jerry Show in WWE. I remember that as well. Jake from State Farm would crush him. I don't know who that is still. We might see CM Punk versus Chris Jericho in the next Labor at Rampage, says Neftali. Jericho is going to face Jim Ross. It's going to be good old JR on WWE Dynamite. It's the big hole, Nia Jax. That's what it's going to be. Oh, can you imagine? I forgot about that. My hole! My hole! It's going to be Jericho versus Nia's hole. Big Show did say in an interview that you will see him in an AEW ring sooner rather than later. Subscribers only. No more bots. No more bots. No more bots. I didn't know how to do it, but you know what? I set this stream up, and it's the first time it gave me the option. When you actually set the stream up, it says, who do you want to be in the chat? So, it's really easy to do. Days this Friday is AEW Rampage. Yeah, I didn't know, to be honest. I thought it was next week. So, yeah, we'll be watching it. Days, this is my 50th stream of yours. Wow. I don't even think I've done 50. So, that is very impressive. Shout out to you. I mean 50th in a row. Wow. 50th in a row, in a row, in a row. 50th in a row, in a row. Wishbone said, would you? Would you? Why are we shouting that? Would you be disappointed if CM Punk doesn't show up on Friday? No. I'm not expecting him this Friday. I'm expecting him a week on Friday. Would I be disappointed then? I don't know that I'd be disappointed. I'd just be like, wonder when they're bringing him in. Be like, oh, I thought he'd be on this show. So would I be disappointed? I don't know. Disappointed's a strong word, isn't it? Be like, oh, I suppose in a way. Because I'm expecting it. But, I mean, give me a minute and I'd be like, I'd be over it. So, no. We've waited 7 years. I think he's been gone since 2014. So it's been over 7 years. So if he isn't on a show on Friday or whenever, I can wait. It's not a problem. We've waited 7 years. Days, if UFC does a major event in London, would you attend? Probably not. Because I'd want to stream it and I wouldn't be able to stream it. So that would make me sad. It would actually be better for me if it wasn't a major event. Because if it wasn't major, then I might not stream it. And then that might allow me to go. But if it's major, then I would want to stream it and hang out with you. Days is obsessed with Hit Row. He is obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. I've got all their albums tattooed on my back. You've reached middle age when you're cautioned to slow down by your doctor instead of the police. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read, but I got through it. So shout out to you, 0 Hour. James Chadwick said, Days, have you heard the 2K22 news that a lot of recent releases will still be in the game? I didn't know. I haven't heard. No. I have not heard this news. You have just brought it to me. Thank you. Graham said, I heard a rumour that it might be Sammy Guevara as a plot twist. Force him to test his loyalty to the inner circle. Would you derail the momentum of Sammy to get his hands on MJF? I don't even understand. I don't get it. What? So MJF says that Jericho's got to beat 5 people to face him. And then one of them is Sammy. But how can he make that match? How can he make that match? How can MJF say, right now you've got to beat Sammy? I mean, is it just anyone... Is it anyone that MJF can think of or something? Could it be anyone? I suppose there's a story there. I kind of feel like there is a story there because MJF could turn around and say, right, the final person I want you to beat is Sammy. And if you do it, then you can face me. But then... It's difficult, isn't it? Because, like, wouldn't Sammy just lie down? If I'm Sammy, wouldn't I just lie down and let Jericho pin me? I would. Because I know how much Jericho wants to get his hands on MJF. He's a friend of mine. Not that bothered about winning. Like, it's not going to change anything, is it? All right, I get a loss on my record. I'd just lie down. So, I don't see how that works. Days, will AEW have a separate roster for Dynamite and Rampage? I don't think so. I haven't heard any rumours of them doing that. Days, can I get a shout out? Shield manager, shout out to you. Edward said it will be Days that is Jericho's final opponent. Dan Lambert is set to return to Dynamite next week to confront the IWGP US champion Lance Archer. And he has two, I tell you, UFC champions with him. Thoughts on who Nunes is American Top Team? Yeah, well, we saw Nunes and, was it Masvidal? Was it Jorge Masvidal? I think it was Jorge Masvidal, wasn't it? And Nunes. So, I don't know. Does he just bring them again? I'm not sure. I don't know who he's going to bring. When did you say that's going to happen? Next week? Well, we've already seen Nunes and Masvidal, so I don't know. Does he go with someone different? I actually don't know, out of all the champions right now, who's with American Top Team. They tend to change gyms a little bit, so... I mean, we could have a look at the champions and see who's with them, but... I don't think it's Sterling. I don't know. I don't know. That might take a bit of time. That might take a bit of time to go through and have a look and see who's with American Top Team at the moment. So, I don't know. I think we'll just wait on that one. I know last time it was Nunes and Masvidal. But, I mean, of all the champions at the moment, like Ngannou, Jan Blachowicz, Aljamain Sterling, Charles Oliveira... Brandon Moreno. Like, I'm just trying to think down who out of all of those are with American Top Team. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. Where would you like to see Gable Steveson, in UFC or WWE? Don't care. Don't care, to be honest. I mean, I suppose in a way, if I was given the choice, I'd say WWE. I mean, I'm not that bothered, though. The only reason that if someone put a gun to my head and they were like, where's he going? I'd be like, WWE. So I'd answer WWE. But if he ends up going to UFC, that's fine. I mean, he's got skills. The only thing I would say is that I think in WWE, they could really do with a real legit wrestler like him that is credible. He's an Olympic champion. He's quite a big guy as well. He's kind of like Brock and Kurt's love child. So I kind of feel like there's something there, there's something that you can do with him in WWE. And if you book him right, you've got a megastar. So, yeah, I think Vince would love to get his hands on him. In UFC, though, how's he going to do against Ngannou? I mean, Ngannou's a beast. Cyril Gane looked very impressive as well. I mean, the thing with UFC is you can't just be a wrestler. Like, you've got to have more about you than just that. So, if Stevenson's going to go to UFC, he's going to have to learn some other things. And that's going to take time. So, someone said this to me the other day. Like, apparently he's thinking of playing UFC off with WWE. And it's like, I don't know that you can really do that. If I'm Vince, I'm going to come and say, here's my offer. I really want you. We're very different to UFC. We can get you going straight away. If you go to UFC, I don't know when you're going to be out there. Like, you need to strike now. Like, you are so popular right now because the Olympics have just happened. We can capitalize on it all now. If you go to the UFC, when is Gable Steveson going to have his first fight? Really? I don't think it's anytime soon. Because, like, how are you going to deal with if you get taken... what's his striking like? I mean, you start standing up. Yeah, he can grapple and get people down. But, I mean, like, what's he going to do when he gets them down? I mean, what's his jiu-jitsu like? What's his submissions like? He might have some decent submissions, in all fairness, but you've got to get people down. I mean, if you're going to be in there with someone that's just going to knock your block off, you ain't going to get very far. So he's going to need to, like, really develop his striking, really develop his kick game. He's going to have to really have a look at his jiu-jitsu and submissions. You might even want to throw in some Muay Thai. You might want to throw in some judo, some throws, takedowns. I mean, wrestling is a great foundation. It's a brilliant foundation. So he's in a good position, but I don't know, man. I don't know. If he goes there, I think it's going to take him a while to learn what he needs to learn. So I think it'll be easier if he went to WWE. I think he would be a bigger star immediately if he went to WWE. I think they'd really put him front and center. So, yeah, I'd probably say WWE out of the options. How would you bring in Gable Steveson into WWE? Well, I think you would need to put him with someone like a Cesaro. Not on screen, but, Do you know, like when Ronda came in, they put Kurt Angle with her? I think you would need to put someone with him, like, 24/7. Like, train him, bring him up to speed with how the locker room works, bring him up to speed with, like, the WWE way. I mean, you just need to put someone reliable with him. I suppose in a way you would want someone that's good at promos as well, though, because obviously Cesaro can tell him how to put a match together. Cesaro can teach him a load of stuff about pro wrestling. Cesaro can take the amateur wrestler and make him, a good pro wrestler. But Cesaro isn't going to be able to teach you how to do promos, so you're going to need a bit of help with that. I wouldn't put him into NXT first. I think he's a big star. He won the gold. He did it in dramatic fashion. I think the time is right to kind of strike as soon as possible. I would definitely have him come out on Raw and, like, be introduced to the fans and wave, show off the medal. I'd definitely do that. And maybe get into a bit of an altercation with someone. Just get a few people talking. I wouldn't say, like, you could put their hands on them, and they get broken apart by security kind of a thing. Kind of plant the seeds for, where we're going. And honestly then, we could do it whereby it just every now and again, like, gets mentioned, but we don't see him. And between now and WrestleMania, we work hard. We work really hard behind the scenes trying to get him ready, because that is a challenge. I mean, with Ronda, they had like between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And that match was brilliant, but it was brilliant because it had Triple H, Steph, Kurt Angle doing a lot of the work. You would have to probably put him in a tag match as well. But I would spend literally between now and then working with him, having him with Cesaro, getting him up to speed. You've already established who his opponent's going to be. Maybe it's The Miz, something like that, right? Someone quite simple, someone that he can beat. You don't need to go big for his first WrestleMania. Just nice and simple. Miz talking trash on Miz TV about him. Then, Gable Steveson could show up at the Rumble. Come out in the Rumble, come down and eliminate the Miz, and we're off. We're off. Build towards Miz and Gable Steveson, or Miz and Morrison versus Cesaro and Gable Steveson, or something along those lines. And now your ball's rolling. Now you're up and running. Yeah, now Gable Stevenson's in WWE, and you can start building from there. But initially, how would I bring him in? It'd be that kind of time frame. Wrestling is not easy. Even if you are one of the best amateur wrestlers in the world, like, to learn how to play the crowd, how to pause, how to take those moments to look out to the crowd, how to, put a match together, how to work the pacing of a match, all that kind of stuff, like the different moves that can kind of go after each other, how to build up, how to get a bit of drama, how to, there's so much that goes into it. Not just the moves, but the drama of a match, the actual psychology of a match, that you can't sit down and explain that in a day. And then you want to walk them through certain parts and tying up how to start a match, different ways to start a match, how to put different sequences together, how to call a match on the fly in the ring, how to sell. I mean, don't forget, he's never had to sell because everything he does is legit. So what's his selling like? I don't know. What's his selling like? What's his interaction with the crowd like? What moves can he do? I mean, in wrestling, you do a few different things, but not the variety of what we see in WWE. So you need to improve his moveset. You need to get the psychology right. You need to just everything, and it takes a long time. A lot of people think that you can just jump in the ring and just feel it out or do it, but wrestling doesn't work that way. It's something that takes a long time, takes a lot of work. You've got to be really, really highly trained. Wrestlers have got a lot of skills, and that's why they deserve so much respect. They deserve so much respect because they are doing performance mixed with sport, mixed with athleticism, mixed with actual dangerous moves that can, end careers, end lives, leave people paralyzed. I mean, we all saw, what went wrong with Stone Cold, with Owen Hart. We all know about, like, Droz, who's paralyzed. These things happen. We know about Paige, career cut short. We know about Sting, the buckle bomb and the uncertainty there. We know about Edge and the fact that he missed so long. Daniel Bryan. Like, this is a dangerous sport. You could not just throw him in there without proper training. And that takes a long time. Would he be hated like Kurt, says Whackin' Uribe? You would need to tell me. I mean, he won a gold medal, so all I can tell you is that if he'd won a gold medal for us in Great Britain, he would be a hero. And there'd be no reason for us to hate him unless he was coming across as a bit arrogant or anything like this. But if he was like a good guy that's always been a fan of WWE, wants to do the right thing, standing up to the heels, like, I think he'd be absolutely fine. You never quite know how things are going to progress. You never quite know in what direction things are going to go. So could he inadvertently become a heel? Sure. There's many things that can happen that can make someone a heel. But no, I would imagine that they would have plans to bring him in as a massive babyface, Olympic gold medal winner, and build from there. So yeah, I would love to see him in WWE, but I don't mind seeing him in UFC. I think he's a great talent and someone that we've kept an eye out for a long time. Jim said, I wonder if Impact really thought out their new Knockouts t-shirt, because when I saw it, I thought Kevin Owens, not Knockouts. I've not seen it, but after you've said that, I'm guessing it's like KO in big letters or something. So, I don't know. I can't comment. I thought of you, though, Jim, earlier, because I saw McKay had won in Ring of Honor, and I remember that being a topic of conversation. Daniel said Masvidal isn't a UFC champion, but I think he's classing the BMF belt as a belt because I think Nunes is the only champion that's in American Top Team. He does have Dustin, but he's not a champion. Interesting. Febin said, Days, except for the pound position, every other position, left back position, every other position in the PSG starting 11 is occupied by a world-class player, the best or one of the best. What are your thoughts? It's not really any thoughts to add, is there? It's a great team. It's a great team. People expect them to win the Champions League. They've just got Messi. Hard to see who's going to beat them. It's hard to see who's going to stop them. I said on the football stream I did earlier that they're the heels this year for me. For me, they are the firm favourites, and I'd love to see someone stop them. So, yeah, I'm very much hoping that someone will do that. But, it's a hell of a team that they've got. And I am looking forward to seeing them play and see how they play together. It could be a case they've got too many individual stars. Do you know what I mean? It could be a case that there's just too many individuals and it doesn't quite gel as a team, but we'll find out. Days, did you know that Bobby Steveson, Gable's brother, is already working at the Performance Center? They could form a tag team, which would be cool. They could form a tag team. It would probably take a long time to get to that, though, because I'm guessing neither of them are really trained. You tend to find when you get tag teams that one of them tends to be experienced, one of them isn't. So what I mean by that is look at Ronda and Kurt. If you're going to have Gable Steveson and put him in a tag team, you wouldn't want to put him in with his brother who's in the Performance Center. You'd want to put him with a Cesaro or someone that knows what they're doing, because both of the Stevensons will probably get lost. I don't mean literally on their way to the ring. I mean during the match. They'll probably be doing the match and they'll just get lost. They won't know what comes next, or they could easily get lost. Well, you've seen it a few times in matches where there's a bit of standing around and no one knows quite what to do next. I could see that happening. So that's why you'd want to put him in there with some experience. Harley said, Days, WWE on Fox revealed that Cena and Roman will come face-to-face on Smackdown, which means we're finally going to get promos of them after all these weeks. Jim said, Quinn finally getting a win over Mandy Leon was the best thing that I saw in wrestling this past weekend. I did think of you when I saw that, yeah. Days, are you going to stream AEW tonight? I am, yeah. Daniel said, did anyone see CM Punk's interview that he did today? He seemed oblivious about Rampage on the 20th when asked, and said he has a screening with the Heels TV. He is in. Is he covering it up? Yes. I think so. When I watched it, it just seemed... It seemed a pointless interview, to be honest. Are you interested? Have you heard about like that you're going to AEW and all this? And he was like, well, and there was no answers. You was never going to get any answers. They said it was on the 20th. There's rumors you'll be there, and he said that he had plans, but not buying it, not for a second. Are you going to stream the Power Olympics? What are the Power? Do you mean the Para Olympics? We might do bits. Yeah, we might do bits, but we certainly won't do like 12, 13-hour days like what we were doing. CM Punk was definitely lying. You could tell, says Taboy. Did you know that Messi is at PSG? I did, yes, I did. Just want to throw this out there. You want video on Bray Firefly Funhouse episode 4 is my favourite video, 17,000 views, and it is all partially me. Wishbone 1231. Shout out to you, bud. Appreciate it. Harley says, Days, PSG has Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, so much star power. It's like AJ versus Triple H at WrestleMania star power. Grant says, I'm not taking off my Quinn McKay shirt until she loses. I didn't even know they made shirts of Quinn McKay, to be honest. She's really over, isn't she? I mean, when I think of Ring of Honor, she's actually the first person I think of now. So they've got a star there. I really like her. She's a good little announcer, and this is an interesting development for her. So yeah, I like Quinn McKay. She's cool. She's cool. Kenny Omega are all out. There's a chance. I mean, I think we're about to go through quite a turbulent time. So what with Daniel Bryan potentially coming in and CM Punk coming in. So who knows how this is going to play out. So, yeah, I think there's a chance, but who knows. It's going to be wild these next couple of weeks. Punk definitely was lying. He will show up as a masked man and then someone will unmask him to reveal that Punk is in AEW. Tilly says, do you think we get Christian Cage, Kenny Omega at All Out? Answered that one. I honestly don't know. I think there is a good chance of it. But, again, we're about to go through such a big period of drama with Rampage starting, Punk coming in, Daniel Bryan coming in, that it's hard to know where the dust is going to settle. But yeah, I think there's still a very good chance that Christian is going to be the opponent. A team full of stars necessarily wouldn't guarantee success. It could backfire. The Real Madrid Galacticos team is a perfect example. Your WWE show needs a counter that says days since last mass layoff. I think Omega wins versus whoever at All Out, and Punk will come out to end the show, says Jaden. Days, may I just say you are 5 foot fine and sweeter than strawberry wine. Well, that's nice. Thank you. I just want to see Britt Baker tonight, says Austin. UFC is fake. No, I don't believe so. No, I've no reason to believe it is. You hear a few people saying that it is and that it's scripted and all this, but definitely there's been some broken bones that aren't fake. I know that much. No, it's above board. So, yeah, we're about 20 minutes away from AEW. If you are just joining us, not too sure about what to expect from this episode. We've seen some of the matches that have been announced. They look all right. There's not loads here that's like, you can't miss this kind of stuff. But Jericho versus Wardlow, that's I think the big draw. So, looking forward to seeing that. Wonder if AEW will have CM Punk and Bryan Danielson debut on the same night. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that would be a big mistake, wouldn't it? I mean, you've got two massive stars like that. You want to space them out. Kiera Hogan is currently wrestling Hikaru Shida. Do we see Kurt Angle tonight? He's rumoured. Is he really? Oh, I haven't seen that. CCSYT. I haven't seen that news. Do we see him tonight? That would be interesting. Where? I don't know. I mean, like, Kurt Angle coming in. On top of Bryan. And I mean, what would you do with Kurt? What would you do with Kurt? He can't wrestle. So what would you do with him? Another manager. Another one. I don't know if they need him. I suppose he's a good ambassador person to have around. If you can get him for a good price, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But, yeah, I don't know. Like the Lily doll winking at us is real. UFC is super fake. Jump in the cage and I will show you how fake UFC is. It would be great if AEW put together a show of just wrestlers that are 30 plus and under 6'3" as a big FU to Vince. GM. Oh, GM, that would be interesting. Yeah, Trey Gaming, that would be interesting if you brought Kurt in as a GM. Like maybe Tony says he can't do it all. How does a GM work with the executive vice presidents, though? That's the only thing. But I suppose you could have fun with them kind of bouncing off each other. So, yeah, that's not bad. I'm sort of down for that, actually. I'm down for that. That'd be a good way to use him. WWE is better than AEW, says Sam Lee Masters. Kevin said, how are you doing? How was your day? Are you still safe? I'm doing all right. My day's been all right. We did the football. I really enjoyed that. Just waiting for AEW to start. Yeah, all right. It's just going all right. There's not really like loads of news today. There's not loads to kind of get our teeth into and to throw around, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, we're doing all right. No one cares about CM Punk. The return I want is the return of Primo. Harley said that UFC is scripted. Daniel said the rumors are coming from the fact Kurt tweeted A-E and then missed out the W. No one is actually reporting it. He tweeted A-E and that was it. Just A-E. Perhaps he's gone to A&E. Perhaps he's currently sat in accident and emergency. I hope he's all right. No way AEW would split the headlines by having Daniel Bryan and Punk debut the same night. Kurt Angle has done an interview with Fightful. Said he's got no plans to come back to wrestling. Interesting. Did you see Punk's promo in 2010? Weird that it is 10 years later and turns out he was right. Is that the pipe bomb? People were saying he was right at the time. Taboy said, what have I started? Now everyone is saying UFC is scripted. Yep. That's it. It's the thing is, I have heard people saying this, though. Like, this is something that people out there do believe. The Galacticos was a policy during the 2000s. It was. What day does CM Punk return? Friday. Not this Friday. A week on Friday is what's been reported. CCSYT said a one-off to save Jericho because the inner circle can't get to interfere and keep Wardlow strong. What are we talking about? I think this can be the problem sometimes when we're having like a few different conversations. They can kind of bleed into each other and I get a little bit lost. He tweeted A-E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. Okay. Sometimes why. Okay. Days, who do you think will beat Kenny Omega for the Impact World title? My knowledge of Impact isn't great, so that makes it very difficult to say who's going to win. I mean, I know of Rich Swann, I know of Moose. You would say that's the person. Have they got anyone? Is there anyone that you would say it's going to be them? I mean, if it's not Rich Swann and it's not Moose, I honestly don't know. I mean, they've got... Is it Eddie Edwards? Or Ace Austin? I think it's Ace Austin, but I don't know quite where he is in the pecking order. They've got Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, but I don't see them as being, like, carrying the world title. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I don't really watch Impact, so people in the chat will know better than me. Febin said, if the Messi contract had collapsed earlier, then City would have preferred him over Grealish, and eventually they might have signed him, which would have flipped off Days. Josh Alexander will beat Omega for the Impact World title. Oh. Coming tonight, not next week. Okay. Austin said, I hope the video that WWE posted about Baron Corbin will show on SmackDown. It was hilarious. What do you think of the recent firings? Well, no one should get released. I think it's hard to know why they're doing it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? It's really hard, because if they've got a plan and they're working towards a certain plan, then I get it. You have to do it. But I don't know what they're working towards. I mean, there's still people in NXT that are over 30 and are not 6 foot tall. So are there going to be more releases? I mean, Drake Maverick. What's going on there? I mean, I don't want to see anyone lose their jobs. So I'm not saying Drake Maverick should be fired. But I am saying, if the others were fired because they don't meet the new criteria, how is it we've still got people around that still don't meet that criteria? Like, it just doesn't add up. None of it adds up right now. So I'm kind of hoping that the picture will make a bit more sense soon. Because right now I don't quite get it. So we'll have to see. But then we still don't quite know what NXT is going to look like. So I've got a feeling there's still conversations going on, and it really wouldn't surprise me if there was even more releases coming up soon. So I think they're firing people because they're going to pay The Rock to come back and wrestle Cena again. Febin said, Days, Chelsea could beat PSG with the addition of Lukaku to an already strong team. He is someone that has won the Ballon d'Or this season if he won the Euros. He is someone who would have won the Ballon d'Or if he won the Euros. I'd rather seen Kazarian win the Impact title. Jimmy said, what are they going to do with Samoa Joe? That's a good question. I mean, I think Carrion's going to lose the title because I think he's just going to stay on the main roster. So I think Joe will be champion. But I don't think he's going to be champion for long. So, yeah, I think that they'll put the belt on Joe. Joe will be the champ. He'll defend it a few times. He'll eventually lose it. And then he'll just go back to being that kind of authority figure that he was. But I'm not sure how long that story will play out for. Adam said, have you seen the reason why PSG can sign all these players without FFP stepping in? No. Someone said the other day it was something to do with like a Jordan deal that was worth 200 million, as well as like really good sponsorships that they've got. But, yeah, no, I don't. I have no idea. I also heard that they're looking to sell up to 10 players to try and balance the books. Again, it's hard. There's so much that gets reported, it's hard to know what the truth is. But I did hear that they were looking to get rid of up to 10 players. Daniel said, did you mention the Dark Order are facing the Good Brothers for the Impact belts? I did mention they were facing them, but I didn't mention it was for the Impact belts. But yeah, I did say that they were facing off. I think Odyssey Jones could take the title from Joe, says Jaden. Days, W. Morrissey will beat Kenny Omega for the Impact title, says Rayuk08. Harley said, why do people want Conor Poirier when it's scripted? Conor's going to win and get redemption. Yeah, we get it, but the real fight is Triple H versus AJ. What are they going to do with Samoa Joe? We answered that one. I think we're doing all right here. We're doing all right. We're getting through these. Chats. What if Cena beats Roman, then The Rock comes in and beats Cena, then we get Roman Rock at WrestleMania? What if Cena beats Roman, Rock beats Cena, and we get Rock Roman, but Rock is the champion, Roman wins the title back? Not bad. I could vibe with that. Febin says, depending on the system PSG use, and Messi will shortly start, one star player will have to be admitted. Di Maria is at risk, who apparently was one of their best players last season. Sam says, do you think Hangman Adam Page will be the next AEW champion? I don't know if he'll be the next one, but he is a future one. I mean, I did think he was going to be the next one, but they seem to still be putting a few bumps in the road for him. There still seems to be a few little swerves and things. So, yeah, I don't know that he's next, but he's definitely going to be one. Will you do Empower pay-per-view? I don't know when it is, to be honest. I need to have a look into that. I mean, what with the Euros, the Olympics, now the start of the Premier League, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be hard to fit it in. I know that much. But yeah, when is it? Eric Defcon Prime to Ridgie, shout out to you. Said, "Where's Days? Who is this young gun with no beard?" Yeah, I'm looking smart. I've tidied myself up. I'm looking fresh, certified fresh. So feeling good. Looking forward to AEW. See what they've got for us tonight. Hopefully they're going to give us something. Hopefully there's going to be something here. We'll find out in 6 minutes. Days, I know you've probably been asked this loads, but do you still stand by the fact you have a babyface get battered for Punk's debut segment with him coming out to save them? Do I still stand by that? Well, I mean, there are other ways that you could debut him. But, yeah, absolutely. I think if you bring in Punk in, you bring him in as a face, a man of the people. And people love him. They've been chanting his name. So you need to bring him in a way that establishes him as the massive face that he is. So, you know, I just think it'd be underwhelming if Tony Khan just introduces him. I think it would be good if, I mean, if anyone can think of a better way, because I'm sure there are better ways of bringing Punk in, then I'm all ears. But I think that someone comes down to try and save them, but they get battered, and then boom, there we go. CM Punk comes back and he saves the day. That would be good. But could there be better ways? Sure. I'm sure if we sat down and really wrote out a long storyline that had a great way of bringing him in, then I'm sure we could think of something. But no, I think the most important thing is that he comes in as a babyface and is, red hot right from the get-go. Which he will be, because he's so over and popular. Eric Defcon Prime Dirigi says, fresh indeed. Jaden said, Omega celebrates with the title, the lights go out and they come back up and Punk hits a go to sleep on Kenny. I think I would want the entrance, to be honest. That feels a little bit like what we've just done with Aleister Black. Yeah, I think I'd want the entrance. I think I'd want the moment when he walks out onto the stage and looks out at the crowd, you know, and the crowd are just losing their minds. I think I'd want that. I'd be a bit sad if we didn't get that. Lights out moments are cool, but someone as big as CM Punk. Eric said, remember, I took 17 years off. Super popular. That's what CM Punk is. Adam team who did so the is going to be more lenient for them in this window. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true. I think the truth is that the financial fair play has been relaxed for everyone because of the pandemic. And normally the way that financial fair play works is financial fair play, you can only really spend what money your club is earning and getting from sponsors and getting from, you know, ticket revenue and everything each year. But they've actually changed it because of the pandemic to you've now got 2 years. So you've got this lump sum of 2 years. So you could go crazy this summer as long as next summer you don't go crazy. Mic cutting out. Wonder why it's doing that. Drama. Mic 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello. Mic is out. We can't hear you. What? Read the chat. Your mic is broke. I can hear you. I'm reading it. It's very interesting. Very interesting. It's done for. He's got to be trolling us. That was just funny. We're back, baby. Do you know what? I can hear you now. I don't know, guys. All I can tell you is that has nothing to do with me because the mic's working. The mic levels were moving. So audio was absolutely fine this end. If it was something we were doing wrong, I would quite happily put my hands up and say, yeah, we messed that up, or that wasn't plugged in, or I think it's this. Must be a YouTube thing. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. It's been doing that a little bit recently, actually, which is a bit annoying. Anyway, we are up and running. We are up and running. We've got MJF. MJF and an apple. Right, here we go. We've got MJF and Wardlow. MJF saying he's feeling a little bit bad for Jericho. You're an arm's length away from the finish line. Okay, so he's really putting over Wardlow. Okay. Dave's Jim Cornette is trying to sabotage your stream since it's subscribers only. Fair play. Why is he talking whilst he's eating? His mama never taught him good manners. That apple looks good. It does look good. I completely agree. The apple looks amazing. I am looking at the apple as well, thinking that is he's shined that up nice. MJF tells Wardlow, get the job done tonight. Wardlow breaks the apple. The 5 Labours of Jericho tonight, Chapter 4. We've got DMD signs in the crowd. The apple looked good. Totally agree. Apple looked really good. Totally agree. Product placement. AEW is brought to you by Apple. Unbelievable. We had Space Jam before, didn't we? Now it's Apple. Nyla Rose versus Kris Statlander. Trios match coming up next. Okay, so it's going to be Omega and the Bucks. Okay. I don't know who they're facing, actually. Omega! Dante Martin and the Seidels. Martin. Sounds like a band from the 1950s. Hey, we're Dante Martin and the Seidels. And this is our song, Rock Baby Rock. Right, there we go. So, Bucks making their way down. With, it's quite the entourage, isn't it? We've got Kazarian, we've got Nakazawa, Don Callis. Don Callis there? Should be. Kenny's there. Yeah, Don is... Okay, so Don is there. Right, when is the next member stream? Should be tomorrow. They have towels because they're in Pittsburgh, the home of terrible towels. Okay, here's Dante Martin. Dante Martin and the Seidels. Bro, I'm Indian, and I'm super pumped that AEW will broadcast in India live from the 15th of August. So that is our Independence Day. So we can't watch Rampage Premiere live, but we can watch your stream. Sumi, shout out to you. Hope you are well, my friend. That's exciting news for India. That you can watch live. It's good. Right, we've got Dante Martin and the Seidels taking on Kenny and the Bucks. It's a bit of a weird one, this one. But should still be an entertaining opening match. They're actually making their way down. Like, the hard cam is on the side of the ring, and they're making their way down from the right. Sort of unusual, that is. Not used to seeing people coming from the right. So used to the hard cam being, like, where people come down from the left. The apple is a Carlito tease. That's a good shout, actually. He was in, wasn't it? No, what was Carlito in? Was it the Rumble? I remember we saw Carlito not that long ago, but I think it was the Rumble. Shout out to Matt. Hope you are well. Young Bucks keep doing weird sport homages. It's going to get boring quite quick. The Young Bucks look like douchey little beep. I think that's what they're going for, in all fairness. I think they're trying to look like douchey little beep. In control at the moment. Sammy Guevara will be back home next Wednesday in Houston. Few arm drags. Days, did you hear them say it's Christian versus Omega? I didn't. No. Sean said, all I know is if Jericho doesn't heed Danhausen's advice against Wardlow, I'll be disappointed. His advice was, hey, Wardlow, and then hit him in the groin. Good advice. Anthony said they are NWO ripoffs. What's in an apple? A worm. It's going to be a Scotty Too Hotty tease. Mr. Super Chat, did I? Sorry. Let's see if I can go back to it. Let's have a look. Wow. I must have really missed it. It's not showing at all. What did it say, James? Let me know. I'll read it. I did a great job of missing it. Just type what it said. I'll read what it said. Wackin said, what would you have AEW do that WWE do? Less factions. What would I have AEW do that WWE do? Less factions. God. What did WWE do that? I would like a credible story. I'd like a credible, you know, like how Roman is head of the table and like it's all very believable. I suppose they've sort of got that with Hangman. So I suppose they've sort of got that. But it's just that the Hangman story is kind of rumbling along in the background. I think it's sort of like a story that's quite believable that I could get my teeth into. Because what have they got at the moment? I mean, Jericho MJF is just a bit OTT. It's not really the same level as like the Roman thing. The Hangman Kenny thing is the closest I could get, I think. The rest of it is like people being attacked after matches and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'd love a story I could really get my teeth into. I'd love a story where it's like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the next part of that. I don't know that I feel that way apart from anything other than the Hangman story. But the Hangman story is very slow. It's a slow burn, and that's fine. I mean, it's fine that it's that way. Days in Power is 28th of August, and NWA is 29th, which is 29th, but 30th for the UK. Thank you, James. Appreciate it, bud. So we've got a little bit of time before we get to that. Yeah, that's what I want. I want a story that I can tune into and just like follow each week and care about. Edward said, please read this. If they show us that it's Christian Omega, I want you to say Edward knows his stuff, lol. Okay. Did you know that when you comment it says if you're a subscriber? Did you know that when you comment it says if you're a subscriber? No, I don't know what you mean. I set it so that only subscribers can comment, yes. Young Bucks in control at the moment. Robert said, how was your day? My day was alright. I haven't really done loads, to be honest. I got up. In fairness, I had a nice dinner. I was so used to having just sandwiches during the Olympic streams that I've been trying to have like some vegetables. So I had roasted veg. It was lovely. Had some potatoes. A bit boring. Had rainbow trout. Oh, it's quite nice. Rainbow trout. It's like a proper fish, not like breaded or anything like that. It's a fish. It's a fish. Like, it's like you basically just caught it, and then like chop off the head, chop off the tail, take the insides out, and then bake it, and it was lovely. So I had a nice meal. Then we did the football stream, and now here we are. So yeah, not been the biggest of days, to be honest. Lone Star Friend said, this ref is pathetic. Sydal takes a swipe at Kenny. Matt Sydal exploding into the ring. Nice spin kick. Pick up. Oh. Fisherman Buster. Double Hurricanrana. He certainly exploded in, hasn't he? And increased the pace. Dante Martin is in there. So Mike Sydal, Matt Sydal working together on one of the bucks. I didn't see which buck. I don't know what buck it is. But Kenny's jumped in. Bad start to AEW, but they're clearly saving the talent for Rampage on Friday. Dante lands on his feet. Flips out the way. Step us in Seguri, and Kenny goes down. Dante Martin, hot tag. A 20-year-old gets the tag and this crowd has erupted. It's a weird thing, isn't it? For JR to say. A 20-year-old gets the tag and this crowd has erupted. Dante Martin is like Ricochet and Reginald combined, says Ryan. Days last season, Lukaku had double digits for goals and assists, which makes him the complete player. Would be interesting if he performs similar for Chelsea. Do you regret Man U selling him? No. No. It wasn't working for us. We weren't able to get the best out of him, and maybe if we had him now, that things have settled down, but we had so many areas that we needed to fix. We just weren't in the right place to have Lukaku. It made more sense for us to get rid of him, get some money in, bring in the likes of Bruno, and focus on rebuilding. Like, we had a rebuilding job to do, and selling him was part of that rebuild. So we are where we are now because we sold him. So I don't regret selling him. Would I take him back now? Sure. If we had the money, I would be tempted to bring him back now. But I don't know that we could have done our rebuild if we hadn't have sold him. Or we certainly could have, but it would have looked a bit different. So, no, I don't regret selling him. Right, Kenny has got Dante. Ugh. V-trigger by Kenny. Kenny's going to look to put Dante Martin away. He's got him up on his shoulders. One-winged. No, Dante flips out. Omega against the ropes. Ooh, that actually looked quite nasty. Yeah, that looked quite hard, but 1, 2. No, just a 2 count for Dante. He's doing well here, isn't he, Dante Martin? There you go, he catches him. It's all right. Good performance, this, by Dante. Side Owls get super kick. There is the one-winged. And then they all throw knees in, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. So Kenny and the Young Bucks are victorious. Dante, really good performance. Side Owls, fine. It's one of those opening matches to get the crowd pumped. Good match. It was better than I expected, says Jimmy. That was a heck of a match, says Jim. The Elite are dominant, says Justin. Do you see Evan Bourne going back to WWE? I don't think so, no. Here's Don Callis. Don said it's great to be out here with the greatest tag team in history, but there's a little countdown clock and outwork everyone. Here is Christian Cage. +7 years in the making. got a 48.5-mile drive to Stevenage. We drew them in the Carabao Cup. Oh, yeah, that was tonight, wasn't it? The Carabao Cup draw. There's 10 of us and there's only one of you. Okay, Jurassic Express. Okay, so Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Find out what Christian Cage has got to say after this break. Days, I had a good day. I got Royal Rumble Titus O'Neil figure and an Elite 83 Chase Edge. Shout out to you, James Kenny. Days, I'm going to Rampage. Very good. Very nice. I think you'll have a great time. So shout out to you. Heather says yes. Get some backup. Jurassic Express. Crowd enjoyed it. As soon as Jurassic Express came out, they were singing along to that theme song, so that went down well. Do you think this will be the biggest and most interesting takeover end of an era? I don't know that it'll be. I don't know that it'll be the biggest and most interesting. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a very good takeover. I remember when TakeOver just kept knocking it out of the park, but there's been a few actually in recent years that hasn't grabbed me. I think TakeOver's quality has really wobbled. So, yeah, this one looks like it's going to be really, really good. But I don't know if it'll be the biggest and the best. Good card, though. Definitely a good card. Wonderful day. We got rid of Cuomo. Still stuck with de Blasio. I don't know what that means. Daniel says Dante Martin had the crowd going insane. I think that Dante genuinely got kneed in the face. I do as well, actually, yeah. I think he definitely got caught. It looked moody. So, yeah, I do. Do you play video games? I don't. To be honest, I don't get time. So, no, I would be interested in playing the AEW game. I think their AEW console game, which I'm guessing is out for this Christmas, looks interesting. Looks like my kind of thing. One of those games that you can pick up and play, but the kind of game that hopefully will have a bit of depth if you play it a bit. So, yeah, I'll look forward to that. I'll look forward to giving that a go. Febin said, Days, did you see Black saying recently how in a match versus Ciampa, he got his testicles busted, but he kept working the match for 22 minutes and eventually collapsed backstage and had surgery in a few hours? I didn't know this. No, I didn't know this. That's horrific. Let's be honest. That now means I don't want to be a wrestler anymore. Because I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I'm older. And I was thinking like wrestler, but not after reading that. You put it onto subs only. RIP to the Botanic Robots. Well, they can still join us if they subscribe. Have you seen WWE 2K22 could have been pushed back to March? Could have been pushed back. No, I didn't know. Loud. CM Punk. CM Punk. This is really disrespectful to Christian. Don is saying he's putting over Christian to a degree. You finally get to have that 5-star match that you always wanted. It'd be a great match, honestly. Are you finished, you carny piece of... Beep. Are you finished? You carny Jagov? What's a Jagov? I don't know, they loved it. Well, there we go. That was popular. Kenny Omega vs. Christian is official for All Out. It's great booking. We obviously knew who's going to win, but should be a 3 to 4 star match. Add a stipulation. Put the Cody rule on Christian, says Big Rod. Oh. What's this? Kenny versus Christian for the Impact Championship. So it's going to be Christian versus Kenny for the Impact Championship on Rampage. And then what? Christian versus Kenny for the AEW title at All Out. It's interesting. Oh, okay. Jungle Boy said, I also spoke to Tony. Did anyone else speak to Tony? Next week on Dynamite. So, Jurassic Express are going to be facing the Bucks for the tag team belts. Well, there we go. The Elite got highway robbery title match. Christian for the win, says Heather. Omega is saying, asking the crowd, are you saying whoa, 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 or are you saying no, 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 no? Right, well, there we go. That's the end of the first quarter of the show, actually. Okay, Malachi Black. Am I the bad guy? I said it would be quick, short, and violent. You have one foot in the grave. don't know. I was watching it, and I took it all in. I think the way that they do their promos is like, let's hear from Malachi Black. So then you go to Malachi Black and it's good. And then they're not given any room to breathe. Do you know what I mean? As soon as he finishes the last word, it's like AEW, and then you go back to the arena. Like, it all feels quite rushed. I wish that could just have a bit more time. It's like, it's as if we've got 30 seconds. It's like, give us 30 seconds of a promo, Malachi. And so he does a bit of talking. And as soon as he finishes his last word, because that 30 seconds is so... We've got that to fill, and that's it. It's like... I think he said something like, you'll realise you've been talking to God. AEW. Wow, that's a special talent. Like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't have the time to breathe. It doesn't really... It can't hit home because we're on to the next thing. Like, sometimes the pacing of Dynamite is too quick for its own good. I would love for that to have had a little bit more time, to have just given it a bit of time to linger. Yeah. It's not a massive issue, but it's just like, that promo hasn't done anything for me. Like, not bothered by it. Not bothered. It hasn't really hit hard. I was listening to it. I was paying it loads of attention, but it didn't have any impact to me. There's going to be people that enjoyed it, of course, but for me, I needed to breathe. Like, you just get this real short window. I think that's a shame. I'd like to hear from Aleister Black. So, good start to the show, though. I think the first match was fine. I again, wasn't blown away by it because I'm not into that kind of people, everyone flipping, everyone doing stuff kind of thing. Like million miles an hour type stuff. But it was good opener, and I thought Dante came across really well. They did a great job of making him look like a future star. So I thought they did a great job with him. And then, obviously, the whole Christian stuff and everything, that was really good. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Amazing, actually, that a quarter of the show has gone by already. Like, that's just, like, really gone out of nowhere. So, fair play. Fair play, Dynamite. What's up, Days? How have you been? Who you got in this match? I don't know what the next match is, to be honest. This one that we just watched, Omega and the Young Bucks won, but I'm not sure who's up next. They probably said, but I didn't hear it. Days Black further said how his down was swollen and protruding. He was in agony and even took a towel. All of a sudden, those UFC knockouts seemed like nothing. Right, we're back. Days AEW hater confirmed. No. Just criticise what I don't think is quite right, but praise for things that I do like. I just said I thought they did a good job with Dante Martin, and how the first segment has gone by really quickly. Right, we're seeing Miro with that TNT title, which does look better. I love it in that colour scheme. Okay, we've got... What have we got? OG? Daniel Garcia. Is this what I was being told? This guy's like a big deal on the indies. Garcia and 2.0, which we know as Everrise. Is it? I don't even know who he's facing. Is it Darby Allin? Okay. Right, okay, so we've got Garcia. Here's a big reaction for Darby Allin. Sting and Darby making their way out. They have to cram 3 championships into 1 hour on Friday. Is that possible? Yeah. Yeah, it'd be difficult. But they'll have to be like 10-minute matches, things like that. But yeah, you could do it. Days Jr. Spencer pulled out with an eye injury. Yes. Days, say it, I know my stuff. There you go, I said it. Brian said, coffin drop for the victory. Justin said, this will be quick work for Darby. Daniel Garcia is a jobber. Darby is awesome. I like Darby, yeah. I'm quite interested in seeing this Daniel Garcia, though. I mean, they did a good job with Dante, so I don't know, maybe this Daniel Garcia is someone they really believe in. You'd have to think so, considering he's on Dynamite. Darby should fight more again. Why do Christian versus Omega twice? Well, it's for different titles, isn't it? But I suppose you're right in a way. Why, you know, you want to see them lock up. So, you know, it's a bit weird to give it us for free before we then have to pay for it at a pay-per-view. I suppose that is strange. But I suppose it's to, you know, it's just really important that that Rampage show gets off to a flyer. Red Death is written on his on Garcia's ring attire. Side headlock at the moment. When is Jon Moxley versus Dean Ambrose? I should imagine that is a battle that Moxley has on a regular basis, internally. I wonder if that's like his demon and his angel on his shoulder. Because his real name's Jonathan Good, isn't it? Do you reckon like his demon is Jon Moxley and then his good side is like the Dean Ambrose? Not that Dean Ambrose was good, but he certainly didn't go as far as Jon Moxley. I saw him crying and I thought he retired. Who was crying? Who was crying? I want Christian to win the Impact title and then go home to defend it. Austin late. He's getting a Turkish. Austin's late. He's getting a Turkish ASMR massage. It's not. He's here. Austin says I'm back. Are you back from your massage? Yeah, Austin's like, what? Oh, he so did. I should imagine the local Turkish massage parlor have stopped giving out massages because they were getting too many requests from Austin. Days, I saw Sammy Guevara's vlog, and in a Q&A, he said he believes that Darby, Jungle Boy, MJF, and himself are the 4 pillars of AEW's future. Would you agree? It's a funny way to word it, isn't it? Because it reminds me of the 4 pillars of heaven. Darby, Jungle Boy, MJF, Sammy Guevara. Yeah, I'd say they're the most obvious. talents for the future. There's others that, of course, can come through, but I think these ones have been worked with a lot over the past couple of years to get them to where they are. Like, all of them have had time invested in them, so yeah, I could see them. I could see them being the next generation, but you're gonna have another wave after that. You know, I mean, like Powerhouse Hobbs or Anthony Ogogo or Dante Martin or Garcia or whoever it might be. But yeah, I think those four. Yeah, I'd agree with it. Be hard to disagree with it. Days, I'm still waiting for Kevin Owens versus Kevin Steen and El Generico versus Sami Zayn and the American Dragon versus Daniel Bryan. What a card that would be. Imagine if all of them were on the same show. That'd be great. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Main event, Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Triple H. Ringmaster versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, be good. Who have you got out of MJF and Jericho? MJF. Jericho's going on tour, isn't he? With what's their names? Fozzy. So yeah, I think MJF. Why do people chant "We want Wyatt" at WWE? Don't people see they messed him up 4 times in a row? What makes people think the 5th time would be better? Because everyone knows that it's 5th time lucky. If at first you don't succeed, try it. That's the saying, isn't it? No, I get it. I get why. It's because this is where he has been. This is his home, isn't it? That's where he made his mark. It's where he, this is where that whole universe was created, and people love that universe. And if he went somewhere else, he'd have to start a whole new thing, and you run the risk of it not getting to the same. It'll always be compared to like the Funhouse and the Fiend and all that kind of stuff. So, people want that, and the only way you're going to get that is in WWE. So I do get it. I do understand why. Terra Rising versus Triple H. Oh, that would be a good one, Jim. I never saw Terra Rising, I never saw him as that in that carnation. So, yeah, I should probably fire up the network and check it out. Terra Rising. Into the corner goes Allin. Dave's Jericho's opponent is Wardlow. It is. Download the #1 wrestling GM mobile game for free. It is the #1 wrestling GM game that available right now. Like, honestly, it's the absolute pinnacle. It's the pinnacle. He's doing all right here, this Garcia guy. Where's Darby's skateboard? He needs his equalizer, like Hacksaw needed his 2x4. I don't know. I don't know where it is. It's a bit weird him coming down without it, isn't it? In all fairness. Me, Mark Callis versus Undertaker. Days, can you try a Scottish accent? Oh, I've done that before. It went very well. Very well. Oh, hi. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. Yeah, like that. See, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. A lot of people are like, wow. Is that Days or is that Billy Connolly? It's just like, whew. Is that Sean Connery? Wow. Any bananas tonight? No, actually. I don't have any. The ones I had went bad. Because I didn't treat them right. Dingo Warrior versus Ultimate Warrior. What's up? How you doing? TXT and wrestling, great combination indeed. Walker Danger, shout out to you. He's Scottish. Yeah, that's it. Scottish accent is the same as talking like a pirate. Arr, me hearty. Welcome to AEW. It's exactly the same, isn't it? Whoa! Who was that guy? Was that Braveheart that just spoke? Wow! Wow! Darby, coffin drop. 1, 2, 3. He won. He won the match. Well done to him. Unibomb versus Kane. Love it. Days from a Scottish person. That was pretty good, to be fair. Edward, shout out to you, my friend. Appreciate it. The reviews are in, guys. The reviews are in. Oof. Spear by Darby. Sting has got 2.0. I mean, this must be amazing for them. Everrise were, not doing anything in NXT. And now they're brawling with Sting on AEW. So it's pretty exciting for them, isn't it? We don't all sound like that. Wasn't Sammy in GTS? I don't know if Sammy was. I know MJF was. Right. Our cameras have caught up with Death Triangle. Let's hear from Death Triangle. There they are backstage. Do you think CM Pink will be in the AEW game? Oh, it's my favourite colour. I think I want to do this whole wall in CM Pink, actually. A bit of CM Pink. I was thinking of doing CM Pink along with a little bit of Malachi Black. Touch of Orange Cassidy as well. Might even go for a little bit of Red Velvet. Not too sure, actually. But yeah, I am a big fan of CM Pink. CM Pink? You tend to buy that if you're having like a girl. You'd probably decorate the nursery in CM Pink. But yeah, I think CM Pink is going to be all elite. All elite. It's an all elite colour. All Elite presents CM Pink. CM Pink is my favourite tone of pink. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. Ooh. Ooh. Right, who is it? Is it Statlander? What's going on with these? You just never hear anything. Is she in a relationship with OC? What's happening? I don't even know what's happening now, let alone what's happening in general. What is this match? Is it another 6-man? Right, well, guess it is best friends. and Orange Cassidy versus People. Hardy and Private Party. Here's the Blade, the Bunny. There's loads of people. There's loads of people. Blade, Bunny. What are they called? TH2? The Hybrid 2? Just people everywhere. Rebby Hardy is pregnant again. Legend Killer said, Days, I'm watching AEW. Shout out to you, Legend Killer. We just live the same life, you and me, mate. I'm starting to wonder if I'm Legend Killer. I'm starting to wonder if, like, subconsciously I'm not, like, typing away in the chat or something, because we seem to do everything the same. So, shout out to you, Legend Killer. Do you think CM Punk will be in the AEW game? Yeah, I do. I said I'm a big fan of CM Punk. And will he be in the game, though? Maybe not this year. It might be hard to get him in for this year, but I'm sure he'll be in the game next year. Yeah, tricky to get him in. It might be downloadable content. Download CM Punk. We've got Hardy and Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy is putting Hardy's hand in his pocket. Look weird. Delete, delete, delete. Black said he was on the top rope. Ciampa came running. His head hit on Black's private area full force. Black fell on the post full speed and he broke his testicle into 7 pieces. Oh my God. Don't need this detail. Don't need this detail. Broke his testicle into 7 pieces. How do you even do that? Oh, that's moody, isn't it? That's moody. That's moody. Days Tuchel said that the goalkeeper switch was planned and not a sudden decision. Dana Pink. Yeah, I love Dana Pink. That's Dana White's sister. Dana Pink. Stop. I do not want to hear that. What? The fact the testicle was broken into 7 pieces. Floating around all like weeping and yeah, I don't want to hear it either. I can make someone's testicles hurt. Yeah. So can Tommaso Ciampa. 7 pieces. Days loves everything pink. Yeah. Don't forget to send the big red machine Kane with TM Punk. Who's TM Punk? Who's TM Punk? Days, we need Constable Corbin versus Lone Wolf Corbin versus King Corbin versus Depressed Corbin. That's exactly what we need. Holy Testicle Tuesday. What is this chat? What is this chat? Were the testicles insured? I doubt it. Who insures their testicles? Dunno. I might now. After this. And the pieces were spread out across the world. Once you bring all 7 testicle pieces together, you get your wish granted by the giant dragon. Brilliant. Now that is a board game that I want to play. I want to play CM Pink. No, whose testicle was it? Malachi Black. I want to play Malachi Black's 7 testicle pieces extravaganza board game. You have to travel around the world. You have to roll the dice and travel around the world collecting pieces of testicle. And you have to build the testicle. And once you've got the built testicle, then you get to go to the final part of the board and try to complete the game. Someone needs to make that game. Someone needs to make that. That could really make some money. You telling me that AEW fans would not want to stay at home and play Malachi Black's around the world 7 pieces of testicle recovery game? I might make a prototype and go on Shark Tank, in all fairness, because I think there's money in that. Hey Jay. Hey Jay, hope you well, Jay. What's up, Jay? Days, a doubt. Will Vinnie Mac make Goldberg champ again to have him put over Roman at Survivor Series in a champ versus champ match? No. They don't tend to do champ versus champ match anymore. I think, didn't they only do it once? I think the other years they've done it where they've actually defended the belt against someone on their own brand rather than make them face each other. Did they do it last year? Actually, no, I've said that. Was last year Roman and Drew? Might have been now that I think about it. Sometimes they do champ versus champ. Sometimes they just do normal title matches, but I wouldn't think that he would put the title on Goldberg just to do that. Double drop kick. We're sneaking our way to the halftime scores, by the way. We're almost an hour into this show. I do feel like the second half an hour has gone slower than the first half an hour, but Statlander's come round, getting in the face of Bunny. Here is Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose pushes Statlander into the edge of the ring. Oh, there's stuff happening everywhere. Jack Evans, TH2. It's like the game Operation. You have to pull the 7 testicle pieces out. Oh. Awful. Awful. Round the back. Probably the worst testicle injury of all time. Oh, I'm so glad we're on this subject. I'm so glad we're on this subject and we just refuse to leave it. Probably the worst testicle injury of all time goes to Bears cornerback Virgil Livers, whose testicle exploded, exploded, when an Oakland Raider landed on his cupless groin in 1978. Is there video of this? Is it on YouTube? Can I watch it happen where, like, someone collides into him and his testicle just goes boom? Oh. Yeah, that's horrific. That's horrific. Who's not searching for that now, though? I would definitely search for it. I've never even heard of that happening. 1, 2, kick out. Oh, exploded. Exploded. This is moody. This is moody. This is moody. What did we talk about? We spoke about exploding testicles. Back elbow by Private Party. Pele kick. I don't know that the crowd are massively into this match. 1, 2. No, shoulder up. Shoulder up. Days, just a reminder that after the incident, Black continued for 22 minutes. Days, can you download Malachi Black Quest for the Balls? You have to travel by sea to find 7 pieces of a testicle across 7 continents. When you found all 7 pieces, you can finally have a kid. Love that. So downloading that. That's a game I'm interested in. That's good. Do you play as Zelina Vega, don't you? Aren't you Zelina Vega, and the aim of the game is to get impregnated by Aleister Black? But you can't do it until you collect all 7 pieces of his testicle. What a game! Brilliant. A lot of people are saying that the story is as touching as The Last of Us, if you've played that. It's basically this generation's Grand Theft Auto. Matt Hardy gets the pin and the win. It's a 7-piece puzzle for the testicle. That would be great as well. So you get the box and you're like, oh, I'm going to do a jigsaw. And they're like, how many pieces is it? And you're like, hang on, let me have a look. Seven. A 7-piece jigsaw puzzle. And you basically build a testicle. Love it. They would sell. I'd buy one. Scout 81SD said, Days, I've been saying hello for hours. How are you? I'm alright, thank you, but yeah, it's been a bit manic. We've been talking about testicles, mate. Just usual Wednesday. Just usual Wednesday. So yeah, Scout, I hope you're well, bud. Imagine if the puzzle pieces were 3D. Get in your scores. Halftime scores. Halftime scores. Halftime scores. I'm going to grab a quick drink. Olympic fans will know what I'm getting. Nothing refreshes me quite like Aleister Black's testicles. Tenzing, the only choice. Do love this drink. I love your backside. Thank you. 7 says Jimmy. 6.5 says Butterspark. 4 says Shaquem. Come on, someone's got to put 7 testicles out of 10. Come on. That is satisfying. Really satisfying. Tenzing. Is that a new sponsor? No, we're not actually sponsored by anyone. Tastes like depression. If I was sponsored, I wouldn't have said that, would I? Jennifer said, I walk away. I walk away to put Lorelei to bed, come back 20 minutes later, and the conversation has turned to testicle pieces. Good to see we're still on brand. It's not my fault. I'm just trying to drink my beautiful green coffee, British raspberry and yuzu drink. That's all I'm trying to do. But, yeah, it's this community. Sorry, thank you. Hope you're well, Jennifer. Hope Lorelei's well as well. I'm glad she's in bed, not watching this smut. Watching this filth. Bonker says 4.7. Austin says 5. Burn It Down says 4.5 testes out of 10. Nothing refreshes you like Aleister Black's testicle tensing. What's this called? Yeah, tensing. In my mind then for a second I was like, is it called testes? I thought it was called tensing. Could you imagine if I was drinking testes? Do you know what? Don't matter. Right. We're going back. We are going back. 5 out of 10. Oh. Champions League semis are on in an hour. Eh? Right, we've got people. We've got people. Santana and Ortiz. 4.7 out of 199, Jim Cornette says Bonkers. Days, whilst one would presume the most worried person after the injury was Black, it was actually Zelina, if you know what I mean. I know what you mean. Because she loves him and she wants him to be whole. Right, what's happening now? Nyla Rose, who literally just came out. Nyla Rose versus someone. Kris Statlander, I think. There we go. Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me. Excuse me. 8.1 needed Kurt Angle surprises out of 10, says John. Maybe the testicle was Zelina's fault. What do you mean? You think she paid Ciampa to do that? Kris Statlander, boop me. Here's Kris Statlander. These are all beaten up. Right, she's booped everyone. Yeah, is she in a relationship with OC? I mean, not in real life, but like in this life. Whatever this life is. Nyla Rose attacks Statlander. Statlander goes down. Can we talk about testicles some more? And milk slices. Can't talk about milk slices, really, because I tried to get one today and they didn't have it down the road. So I've got to go to like a big supermarket and see if there's any joy there. If they don't have one at our local supermarket, I will bake. I will bake. I am not a baker, but I will bake. I will find a way of making some so that I can try it. Because there's tons of recipes as to how you make them, but want the real deal? Do you know what I mean? So maybe Zelina was a bit too rough the night before. Well, I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean? We know how it got damaged. It was Tommaso Ciampa in the ring. Oof, Nyla got her leg caught in the apron for a second. Day's fun fact. Tyson Kidd follows Samoa Joe on Instagram, but Joe doesn't follow him back. The same Joe which landed the muscle buster on him. What a savage. I bet you can't believe it. Daves, do you think Adam Cole, Pete Dunne are going to re-sign with WWE, or will they go the main roster or go somewhere else? Oh my God. What is Vicky doing? What is she doing? She's just gone over to Orange Cassidy and gone, ah! Orange Cassidy's like, ah! Wow. Well, that was a whole thing. I don't know. I don't know if they're in the same boat. I mean, rumors are they've offered Adam Cole Bay $1 million. I don't know that they've offered that to Pete Dunne. Oh, Statlander was walking on her hands for some reason, and she just got speared by Nyla Rose. Days, we need a bacon live stream. I'm getting a milk slice. Statlander looking for a sit-down power bomb. Hits the power bomb. AEW, says Brendan. Vicky is a true banshee. She was on it. I'll still hear that screaming when I close my eyes. None of that. Zelina may have caused some damage, and Ciampa's hit finished it off. Right, Kris Statlander has got the victory. Well done to her. Orange Cassidy is like still suffering. Still suffering. Okay, the Young Bucks want to speak their mind. Okay. What do you think will be better, SummerSlam or TakeOver? TakeOver. Glad Statlander won that match. MT Pounds, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Vicky is such an amazing, annoying freak, says Rated R Wrestling. Here's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Okay. Right, and we go to commercial break. Anyone who marries Vicky makes her sign a no-scream contract. That was funny. Nice basketball promo. Some people had asked you this. If Cole re-signs for $1 million and fails to get really over, wouldn't he be at risk of getting released? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would. So he needs to get over. Yeah, because if he goes, it'd be in the same boat as Braun. I don't know what contract Braun was on, but I know he was getting paid well. So yeah, he would be at risk of getting released. Brian Nobbs is in hospital. He's set up a GoFundMe to help with the expenses. Oh, no way. Brian Nobbs of the Nasty Boys. I hope he gets better soon. Unbroken said, my cats scratch my phone when they hear her. Yeah, right, we're at commercial break. We've got 45 minutes left of the show. 45 minutes left to go. And it's been all right. I think the show started well and then sort of just tailed away a bit, to be honest. But we've got some interesting stuff coming up. You know, the Jericho Wardlow thing, I think, will, be fun. I don't even know what other matches we've got now I think about it. There's probably something else. There must be something else. So, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Breaking news from 6 Hero Sports. Keith Lee is out for 2 months. How come? Braden, why are they reporting that? What's wrong with Keith Lee now? Never understood why the Suicide Squad didn't die. I mean, that is what they all want. It's a good point. Days, my dream WrestleMania match would be Aleister Black versus Balls Mahoney. What if Punk and Bryan come in as a team? I think if you had a faction, you'd have some interest in. But I think as a two, it's not going to work because they're going to be outnumbered. So you might need a team. Jericho would be good with them. Jericho, Punk, Bryan could absolutely dominate in AEW. Okay, we've got Britt Baker. Just hearing from her. And here's Red Velvet. Messi is now wearing number 30. I saw. Okay, so Red Velvet said, me going in there, not being afraid of anyone, that's what's helped me get into the top 5 rankings. She's kind of gone about this quite quiet. Like, it doesn't... I don't feel like I've seen all that much of Red Velvet. I think she's kind of gone about it on Dark. It's a nice graphic. I like that graphic. Okay, we've got Tony in the ring. Let's welcome her back home. Okay, so Britt Baker. D. She's sort of like Nikki A.S.H., isn't she? She's like a poor man's Nikki A.S.H. I can't believe they copied WWE with this. Here is Britt Baker. Where's Reba? DMD sign in the crowd. She's got yellow and black jacket, which must... And look at this, there's lots of towels that are yellow. This must be like the colours of the place. Yeah, and she's swinging a towel around as well. Is this a thing? There we go. Look, they're swinging their yellow towels around. They love it there. I mean, she's meant to be the heel, but she's getting a hero's welcome. Lady that's on the rise, Red Velvet. Boos for Red Velvet. Britt Baker said she's always been at the top. Punk and Bryan come in as outsiders. Style and Bray is the third man brother. The worst booking decision ever made by Vince was not having Aleister Black main event at Great Balls of Fire. Was that really the worst booking decision ever made by Vince? Was it? Tony's look, he is so proud. Britsburg. Britt Baker said, I present to you Hope. And she shows the AEW Women's Championship. Days, WWE should make a show for Netflix called WCW Underground. That'd be good. This Friday. It's me and you in the main event. So, there we go. It's going to be Britt Baker and Red Velvet in the main event of Rampage is shaping up to be huge, isn't it? D. Britt is bad looking and annoying. Get the belt off her. Alex says Britsburg. Cringe. Ah, here's Red Velvet. Wearing red. Fair play. Red Velvet desperately trying to get at Britt Baker. Messi is the most dangerous with the ball. Chomper, hold my beer. That title looks awful, says OK. Naming the event Great Balls of Fire, that was also a great decision. Well, in all fairness, he called it that because he was going to have Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa as the main event. And he planned ahead and called it Great Balls of Fire. But that fell through. Just like Alistair's balls. Shouldn't laugh really, but I'm going to. Britt Baker, DMD. Okay, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Dark Order. We're moving on. Oh, yeah. I forgot about this match. Okay, for the first time ever, the Impact Tag titles are going to be defended. Uno and Grayson. Imagine the scenes if, due to this rebranding stuff, Vince ends up releasing Joe again and Triple H's reaction to that. I think he'd be sad. He would be sad. And a little bit frustrated. The Good Brothers music sucks. It sounds... I can't really hear it, to be honest, but from what I can hear, it definitely sounds like it sucks. Okay, Good Brothers making their way down. Days, what do you think of the segment where Kane gave Shane's testicle region a power life? When he, when he shocked him with the, I don't know what you call them, jump cables. I mean, yeah, I wasn't crazy about that segment. It's not a segment that I found all that entertaining. But, you know, that was the way wrestling was back then. Little bit of dissension in the ranks of the Dark Order. I didn't know this. Over the treatment of Hangman Adam Page. So the Dark Order a bit divided at the moment. And we're underway between Dark Order and the Good Brothers. This is for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Wyatt will get the Dark Order where it needs to be, says Brian. Was that Tony from the chat? Where? If it was a drunk guy just in his pants, then yeah, that was Tony. I want Rob Van Dam versus DMD versus EC3 versus Y2J versus MSK. That's fair enough. How many teams are there in AEW? Many teams. Many teams. Many factions. Big boot by Gallows. Good Brothers, a Magic Killer, and Retain. They should create a trios tag title, says Sean. Yeah, they should actually. Because there's a lot of factions. So you could definitely do something with that. Up next, the 5 Labors of Jericho. Chapter 4, Jericho versus Wardlow, which I think is going to be our main event. We've only got half an hour left. It's kind of gone a little bit quick, actually. This past half an hour has gone quite quick. For me, this isn't even close to NXT score-wise, says Jaden. Shahid said, I'm going to watch AEW. Yeah, I think this show is a little bit of a stopgap. It's building to bigger things. You know, there's been a lot on this show building for Rampage. I mean, I think Rampage, it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's a stacked card. It's only an hour long. Rampage genuinely might be my favourite wrestling show of the week. An hour long. Just an hour. An hour long with hopefully matches that are going to matter every week. Yeah, I think Rampage could be amazing. I'm really excited for Rampage. AEW hasn't been that good, says Burn It Down. To be honest, have you seen the video of the children's show hosted by Paige, Brad Maddox, and Xavier Woods? Have I seen the video of the children's show? No. Think Angle saves Jericho at the end of the beatdown. I think Angle saves Jericho at the end of the beatdown. Okay. I heard there was some rumours. Do you watch wrestling during the ads? Also, should there be a brand split? Do I watch wrestling during the ads? Sometimes. It depends. Sometimes Fight TV goes to just a black screen. Sometimes they do just keep it on, yeah. And then, like, you know, it's just... There's not really much in the way of action. Like, the match is just, like, a bit slow. But there's a live crowd there. So you can't get away with they can't get away with just standing around and waiting for people to come back from the ad breaks. So yeah, sometimes it's a black screen. Sometimes they do keep showing what's happening. And what was your other question? Do you still watch during the ads? Also, should there be a brand split? No. Nah, there shouldn't be a brand split. You don't need a brand split. But what I wouldn't do is if you see someone on Wednesday, I wouldn't then show them again on Friday. I think that, you know, if you want to see Kenny Omega and he's on Rampage, then I wouldn't have him on Dynamite. You could get away with, like, a promo, just a little recorded thing, but you don't need him to be actually there. It should be a case that on Friday, that's when you see him. Like... I wouldn't want to see, you know, someone have a match on Wednesday and then another one on Friday. But I don't think we need a brand split. Because if you have a brand split, that would suggest you're going to need, like, another AEW champion. Because you'd need a Rampage champion and you'd need a Dynamite champion and all this. And it's like, nah, it's too messy. Don't need it. Not for an hour-long show. This show may not be great, but Rampage is looking absolutely insane. If you look at the Rampage advert, it says matches that matter, less distractions, more wrestling. That's what Rampage will be about. Yeah, I'm into that. I genuinely think that Rampage might become my favourite wrestling show. A wrestling show that's an hour long, just without anything else, sounds amazing. Do you know what I mean? Without even worrying about what the matches are, just the fact it's only an hour sounds amazing. Evil Uno. They've got Good Brothers right where they want them. Do you remember TNA? I remember TNA. I would love Gable to do a rehash of Angle's wrestling machine gimmick and just be this legit guy who gives us killer matches. Yeah, that would have been good, but they just didn't seem to want to go that way with him. I don't think they see him as being big enough, to be honest. I think Kurt had a bit of size to him, but Gable hasn't got that size. So, you know, I think they've tried a few different things with Gable, but they just don't seem to want... Oh, hang on, are you talking about Gable Steveson? I thought you were talking about Chad Gable. I was going to say, yeah, they could have done that with him, but they've not gone down that road, and I don't know that you can really do it now. I was just seeing some footage of NWA and Camille. You won't get me off my feet. NWA Empower. Layla Hirsch versus Camille. Okay, what's this? QT. is telling Tony that he should be apologising. We're gonna apologize for what we were gonna do to your son right now. QT. Just don't feel like they can do these segments. I just don't feel like they're good enough to do these segments. I don't think Tony can act. Like, it just feels... Big Show making his way down. That just felt really flat, man. That felt really flat. Okay, so Big Show or Paul White has made his way down. AEW need to learn a lot. Yeah. It's also rushed. It's also quick and rushed and... Days, can you download AEW and WWE Bitter Rivals Tender Lovers? It's a secret story about Amanda Terrence and Christopher Lee. Wow, your mind. I don't know how you get there. I don't know how you come up with this stuff. I'm a little bit scared. AEW Rampage. We've got Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage. Do you think RK Bro has split? Cena made them hug after the show. I don't think they've split. Britt Baker versus Red Velvet. They're just running down what we can expect this Friday on Rampage. Next week, we've got the Young Bucks against Jurassic Express. Shawn Spears versus Sammy Guevara. Plus a major announcement. Darby Allin and Sting are taking on 2.0. Jericho versus Wardlow up next. Coming next. The 5 Labors of Jericho, Chapter 4. Jericho versus Wardlow. Next. To be honest, the whole factory storyline of Go-Go and Cody fell flat after Go-Go lost. Cody did say in an interview that his match with Go-Go was meant to be in London. Jericho versus Wardlow. There we go. Christian will be the new AEW champion. Apparently, in Messi's contract, he's got a release clause to only Argentinian clubs, which is kind of cool, says Adam. That is kind of cool. It's been a bad week for promos in the wrestling world. AEW sucks. Black should say, I won a gold medal with a broken freaking testicle. Yeah. Days, if they haven't split, I would have Riddle eventually turn on Randy as revenge for the RKO. Big Rod said AEW needs to put money into production. Get these grand entrances. Find another billionaire. on that children's show, they create children. Is CM Punk going to come back? Is Jericho retiring? Big Show should use a choke slam instead of a punch. Every day, Daze is looking sexy. He pulls off the black look so well. Thank you. Daze, if you owned AEW, how would you plan to beat WWE? Well, I mean, in all fairness, I think AEW are probably going about it the right way. You know, you build, you grow. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, you basically try to do everything you can better. So, like the video game, make it better. The figures, make them better. You know what I mean? Everything you're doing, make it better. Like, use social media better. Listen to your audience more as to what they want. You know, make sure you're getting good feedback as to who's over, what's working. Apparently, they look at, like, the ratings and really break it all down, and they see who's connecting, and they really go through the numbers. And I think Vince does, but I think Vince also doesn't give a flip. I think Vince is so used to... I think Vince has honestly got it in his mind he knows better than anyone, which is hard to argue with considering the success he's had. It wouldn't surprise me that he uses numbers for certain things, but if Vince has got something in his mind that he wants to do or something he believes is the right way forward, he'll do it. Because he's, you know, trusted his gut in the past and it's got him this far. So, yeah, I think that... I think they're doing all right. They're listening to people. I mean, there's things I would definitely change about AEW, but that's a big conversation, isn't it? It's a big conversation. I already think that AEW has evolved a bit. I do think AEW is, you know, if you compare it to how it started to where it is now, I think it has taken some steps in a better direction. $17 minutes to go. So, yeah, I wouldn't really change anything. I think that, you know, they do a really good job. They're introducing that second show. CM Punk would be a massive get. Daniel Bryan would be a big get. I mean, you just got to keep adding to your roster quality. Does mean that you might end up having to release a few people that, you know, you're going to struggle to find places for now, but, you know, it's just business. Right, Jericho's made his way down. What is up with the Young Bucks kissing Kenny Omega on his cheek? Well, they love him. That's what it is. The off-the-top rope Judas effect was a good finisher, says Sean. AEW is going to put WWE out of business. I think WWE might put WWE out of business. I don't think it'll be AEW. I think WWE will beat them to it. Have you seen what Connor said about Daniel Cormier? No. Not if it was, like, today or yesterday. No. Going Ghost said, here is a fun question. Whose entrance gets a bigger pop? Jericho's or Edge's? Jericho with the crowd singing or Edge's with the entrance? Don't know. Both about the same, aren't they? I mean, both are legends. People love singing the Jericho Judas song. But Edge just gets a really good reaction. Do you know what I mean? People just pop for Edge. With Jericho, I think people do pop, but yeah, they love singing along with his song. Don't know. It's hard to say who gets the bigger, better reaction. I mean, Jericho's been doing it for a long time. You know, Edge hasn't been around anywhere near as much. So maybe it would be fairer to see, what's the reaction for Edge in 2 years' time. Because, in all fairness to Jericho, he's been coming out week after week after week and getting that reaction, so I'd probably lean Jericho, just for consistency. Have you seen Brandy kiss Kenny at Ring of Honor? No. Will Edge come over to AEW? AEW is like 2010 WWE. Is there any other promotion like AEW? Where can I get dubbed Korean dramas? Do you know? Should AEW have a GM? Mickie James is a GM at Impact. Wow, there's a lot going on there. Will Edge come over to AEW? He could do one day, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Is there any other promotions like AEW? Are there any other promotions like AEW? I mean, is Impact... Would you say Impact was... I don't think Impact's as funny, is it? Don't know. You could try Impact. I think Ring of Honor is a bit more wrestling focused. Kind of feel like Dynamite's just like a bit like Raw from 10 years ago. So in 10 years' time, Dynamite's going to have winking dolls. New Japan is very wrestling focused, so I wouldn't say New Japan. I think you'd have to go like with the North American promotion. Probably the indie scene. I'd say that AEW most resembles probably what was happening at like bar wrestling, beyond wrestling, those kind of places. Kind of feel like it's kind of like indie wrestling but with a bigger budget. So, I suppose there isn't really anything exactly like AEW right now. I suppose that's why it's doing so well. Because there's a niche in the market. People that don't want WWE, this is definitely an alternative to that. I suppose, would you say Smackdown was a bit similar? Or, NXT, of course. But we don't know what NXT is about to become, do we? So, NXT for now. But in a month's time, we're not so sure. Mickie James is not the GM of Impact. Nah, she's over at NWA, isn't she? Wardlow had Jericho up, slams him onto the edge of the ring. WWE has marketed themes so well over the years, you can't say wrestling without people assuming you're talking about WWE. Much like Kleenex and Q-tips, no one calls them face tissues and cotton swabs. Yeah, so you're saying that like WWE are so synonymous with wrestling, a lot of people call it WWE instead of like wrestling. I think Tannoy is one of them as well. A Tannoy. It's not the... A Tannoy isn't what the actual thing is called. That's the company that makes them. There's a few examples of that. We saw Mack Truck. Like, Mack apparently is just a make. I was like, what's a Mack Truck? And turns out it's just a make of a truck. Yeah, it'd be hard to overcome, like, the... WWE is known everywhere, isn't it? Right, 10 minutes to go. I tagged you in a post. Thank you. She has been on Impact to build for Empower. The stream went back to the beginning for some reason. Amazing. Keep you on your toes, Jim. Keep you on your toes. My dog likes watching AEW. It's funny when you tell me I like wrestling, they say WWE, I usually answer all wrestling. Do you agree that Judas is the best theme song ever? If not, what is? Judas is my favourite theme song, and it just gets me hyped. It's catchy, and Jericho is loved so much by the fans. I don't think it's the best theme song ever. I think there's... I mean, I don't even think it's the best Jericho theme song ever. I prefer his old WWE one. Break the walls down. Break down the walls. Jericho. That was cool, man. That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I could probably list about 100 that I prefer over Judas personally, but I think if you're quite young, like, I could understand why you'd be into it. But like the DX theme tune, that was immense. NWO, wow, 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 wow. Like, it was just really cool, and it really worked for them. As I said, Jericho's. I love Jericho's as well. Undertaker. I mean, you want to talk about greatest theme songs of all time? Undertaker. Break the walls down. I loved CM Punk's This Fire Burns. What is the top 10 best entrance themes? Oof. That'd take a long time, wouldn't it, to kind of go through them all? There's been some amazing ones. I mean, like, Triple H, brilliant. Undertaker, as we said, brilliant. I really like Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Belair's, I think, is really good. It's not a top 10, but just thinking about what I like right now. Stone Cold's theme, the one Disturbed sang, was really good. The Motorhead themes, yeah. The Road Warriors using Iron Man by Black Sabbath. AEW should do an Exploding Balls deathmatch featuring Malachi Black. Time to play the game. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Wardlow in control at the moment, dominating Jericho. Daisy's Escape Pod returning tomorrow. I think so. I need to just send a message to Tommy to find out. I think so. I think it'll be usual time. Jericho hurls himself at Wardlow. Oof. Jericho is slammed down on the mat. So Wardlow is just absolutely unloading on Jericho at the moment. Roman's current theme is incredible, says Burn It Down. No blood so far. What's going on? Says Brian. Will the topic for Escape Pod be weirdest video games? I have no idea. I've given it zero thought, so I honestly don't know. MJF raked the eyes of Jericho. Jericho sliding into the ring and is about to give ring to Wardlow, and Aubrey spots him, tells him to get out. So MJF is being thrown away from, chucked away from ringside. Jericho is going to have to find a way of winning this. He seems to have something in his hands. Oh, it's the baseball bat. There it is. He nails. And the Judas. 1, 2, 3. So, Jericho beats Wardlow, and so we're going to find out what the final chapter is. So, we've got a few minutes to find out. Here we go. Yeah, Jericho's got the win. Sean Spears, the chairman. It's going to be Sean Spears again. Final opponent. Well, we need to find out who it's going to be. Sammy's come down. Okay, they're brawling in the ring at the moment. Now MJF's making his way down. Do you remember when Triple H Kane had Yowie Wowie Katie Vick? What was that storyline even all about? Yeah, the Katie Vick story was awful. It was about how, wasn't it like a car crash? And Kane was driving and Katie died. And it was then, it was basically Triple H making fun of the fact Kane's girlfriend had died in a car crash. And so he went to like a funeral home and there was a dummy in a casket that was pretending to be her, and it just all got really distasteful and it was just horrible. Right, we're waiting for the final part next week. Okay. No Judas effects. No Judas me. Oh my God, thank you. Right, no Judas. No Judas effect. Who's he? Okay. Who's he facing? There's a new king in town. So, is it MJF next week? No, no Judas music, no Judas effect. So is that I don't understand. So is it against MJF? I think that could have been made a bit clearer. It must be. He didn't name anyone. It must be that he's going to face MJF. MJF was number 5. It was always told that MJF was number 5. Okay. Well, we were talking about it earlier, and there seemed to be quite a bit of confusion around it. I still think that this could have been made a lot clearer, you know. Can't really take for granted that people have been watching every single week. It's not the biggest complaint. Right, get in your... that's the end of the show. Get in your full-time scores. What did you think of the show? What did you think of the show? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was filler? Did you think it was exceptional? What was your thoughts? Corvid says, no, it wasn't always told that MJF was 5. Well, calm down, everyone. Calm down. It's fine. It's fine. No big dramas. Full-time score, 6 testicles out of 10. 6.75 says Scott. 4.2 says Shaquem. That boy said 5. Not a good show. 7 says James Kenny. 5 says 1987. Big fan. 675 says Scott. 5 says Burn It Down. 6 says Let Him In. They're rushing the storyline for a concert run. 4.9, 6.5, 6.75, 6.75. Is the brawl counter broken? To be honest, I didn't really pay any attention. Was there lots of brawls? There might have been. 6.5, 6.5, 5, 7, 5.5, 7.5, 7.5, 6. I think this was really average, to be honest, and not bad. I mean, I watched it and I was, it's fine, but I think there's been way better Dynamites than this. Way better Dynamites than this. But it wasn't a bad show. There was, still stuff in here that I enjoyed, but yeah, it's been better than this. I'd probably go with... Probably go with a 6.25. 6.25. It's about average. I would say actually below average for AEW. AEW is normally better than this. But I don't blame them because their focus is on Rampage. Do you know what I mean? I think there's probably a lot that's happening on Friday that normally would have happened on this show. But they're having to save it for Friday because of Rampage. So, as a result, this is... Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I Am Crush NC said it was a decent show. Good builds for Rampage. Still better than 3 hours of Raw. 6.5. 625, 625, 6. Daniel said the show wasn't that great. Can't wait for Rampage. If the Rampage is as far as the card looks next week with CM rumored to debut, could make Rampage unmissable. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think this was... It was what it was, wasn't it? I mean, there was still stuff throughout tonight that I, was like, yeah, that's all right. They did okay here. But overall, this isn't... I think if you'd heard the hype about AEW and you tuned in and saw this, I don't think this would have blown your mind at all. I don't think this would have blown your mind. So, yeah, Friday. It's all building for Friday. So, right, we're done. Awesome. We're going to wrap up. We did the football earlier. We've done AEW. We are... I don't even know what we're doing tomorrow, to be honest. Tomorrow, I think there's a chance we do member stream, Wrestling Escape Pods. There'll be some other stuff that drops onto the channel as well. So, yeah, there'll be plenty of stuff that we take a look at tomorrow. But big shout out to everyone that joined us tonight. I hope you enjoyed AEW. If you thought it was the best thing you've ever seen, then brilliant. If you thought that it was rubbish, well... Hopefully it's just a one-off. And if you thought it was all right, well, you've not got long to wait until the next one, which is Friday with the debut of AEW Rampage, which we will be covering on the channel. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.